morning, UC Davis yoga people. My name is Nueva, and I am a certified Iyengar Yoga teacher. This morning, today, whenever you're taking this class, we'll be doing poses together which are simple, which are beautiful, that we know and love, but yet these simple and beautiful poses have so much depth to them. Let's practice together. Come to an easy cross-legged position. Cross the shins right in the middle and bring the feet so that they're moving underneath the knees. I'm sitting on 2 blankets. If the knees are higher than the hips, take more height. That will let you sit up straight and be healthier for your knees. So I'm placing my fingers along the sides of my waist. So I'm going to let my legs be heavy and lift to the sides of my waist so that I'm getting a sense of lift in the torso. Can you feel that? Widen the chest across the collarbones and take the shoulders away from the ears. We'll begin practice with 3 ohms together. Om being the traditional syllable which represents all of creation. You can also take a moment of silence if that works better for you. Bow the head to the heart, keeping the chest lifted. On an inhalation, lift up the face and release the backs of the palms to the thighs. Stretch the legs in front of you, and now cross the legs at the shin with the opposite leg in front, so the one you didn't do. And again, cross the leg at the shin and bring the feet so that they're moving underneath the knees. Extend the arms out in front, interlace the fingers all the way up to the webbing, and then rotate the palms so that the palms face in front of you. Let the elbows straighten. Inhale, take the arms up. Can you find that extension through the sides of the waist that we had during the invocation? Legs heavy, arms up. See if you can re-straighten the elbows again. So when we're in a pose and we take the action again, it's called pose and repose. So we're in a pose, and then as we're here, we see if we can find that pose in a deeper way. Exhale, release. Arms in front. Take the interlace of the fingers to the non-dominant cross. So let's say you can only bring the arms up just a little bit, keeping the elbows straight. That's actually a healthier action than having the elbows bent here. So if the elbows straighten and you can lift the arms just a few inches, take that place of the pose. Palms in front, Squeeze the elbows together. Lift the arms. Lift the arms. Can you find that length through the sides of the waist? Can you feel the legs being heavy and the arms feeling light? Exhale, release. Inhale, lift the arms up. Keep the arms straight. Turn to the right. I am mirroring you. Place the left hand on the right knee and the right hand behind you. And let that twist come from the middle back, not the low back. Shoulders and hips in the same vertical line. Exhale, release. Turn to the left. First twist of the day. Come back to center. So I've got 2 blankets here. You can see them. And today we're going to start with child's pose. Take one of the blankets if you have them, or take a towel. And you can see I've got my blanket folded like so. And as I'm showing you the pose, you can see that my knees are hip width apart. I'm lifting myself up and placing the blanket or the towel all the way behind the knee joint. So my buttocks and my ankles are glued together for purposes of this pose. Place the hands on the hips, come forwards. Straighten the arms in child's pose. Straighten the arms at the elbows, just like we did in the very first pose. And see what happens with the spine. Buttocks to the heels. Straighten the arms. Inhale, look up. As you look up, feel the middle back coming in. So concave back. Exhale, release. Keep that middle back moving in towards the floor, forehead towards the floor. Long, smooth, slow inhale. Long, smooth, slow exhale. To come out of the pose, bring the hands by the hips and sit on up. I'm going to turn around and face the camera. Extend the legs in front of you. Hands by the hips, shoulders over the hips. Lift the torso, lift the sides of the waist, and let the thighs move down towards the floor as if an elephant were standing on them. Extend the legs so that you have a nice wide angle. So it's not the splits, but it's a wide angle. And how do you know how far to go? So place the index and middle finger between the big toe and the thumb in front. And if you can catch there, that's a good width. So a modification, if that's not available today to hold the toes, then you can take a belt on either side. You can take belts out of your closets, a yoga belt, an old men's tie, anything that's 2 of the same so you can lift and get that length. Separate the legs. Bring your attention and awareness to what's going on in the legs. Place your hands on your hips and press the thighs down. Press the thighs down and then dig the heels down so you feel an extension towards the back of the leg. Fold the torso over the hips. That's right. Be mindful that there's not too much stretch in the inner groins. And then take the hands, clasp the middle finger and the index finger around the big toe. Make a circle with the thumb. Keep the thighs moving down towards the floor and the chest lifting. I'm really working at straightening my arms as I'm coming forward and keeping my back straight as long as I can. So if there's a round, and I'm rounding at that middle back place that you felt in child's pose, then for sure, take those belts, take those straps, and keep the pose upright. Let's be here for a moment. Come up to center. Press the thighs down again. Again, that's called pose and repose. So you've been in the pose, and then usually we'll let that pose slacken for a minute. Like the thighs will stop working and we get a little sloppy. Bring that sense of awareness to the pose again so that the pose itself becomes an object of meditation. Hands to the thighs. Press the thighs down. Dig the heels into the ground so you can really feel the legs activate. Inhale, lift the arms up, elbows straight. So the toenails are facing the ceiling, fingernails extend to the ceiling. Bring the arms to either side of the leg. Turn to the right. Again, from the middle back. Come back to center. Turn, turn, turn to the left from the middle back. Come back. Place the hands behind the knees. Bring the right knee in first. And bring the left knee in second. And come into cobbler's pose. Soles of the feet together. Bring the soles of the feet as close as you can to the perineum. If the knees are high and up towards the chest, then what you'll do is you'll take a blanket or a book, a towel, anything you have to get some more height. That should make the pose more comfortable. Clasp the hands, just like we did at the beginning of class. Place the clasped hands under the outer edges of the feet. Straighten the arms and lift the chest up. So if you need some help today in terms of reaching underneath the feet, you can also take your strap and place it underneath those edges of the feet. Parigasana. Parigasana, cobbler's pose. Let the knees widen. Gentle stretch through the inner groin. Keep the torso lifted the whole time. Look straight in front of you. You could stay in Parigasana up to 5 minutes. I find it's really comfortable to do when my torso is supported on a wall. You can also support the outer knees with a rolled blanket. If you have knee issues, you just roll up a blanket and place them right on the edge, and it allows you to get the benefits of the pose without undue strain. Place the hands on the outside of the knees and then press the outer knees together like you're closing a book, and extend the legs in front of you. Simple poses we know and love. So all of the complicated poses are really just variations of the simple poses. When we really explore the simple poses, It's very humbling, but will also deepen our practice in a very serious way. Sit on the mat, bent legs, toes in front, and recline yourself down evenly in the middle of the mat. Dig the heels into the mat and join the feet if you can. Otherwise, take the feet at hip width distance. Take the hands and give the thighs a gentle suggestion to press down to the floor as the heels continue to dig into the floor. On an inhalation, take the arms over the head for lying down mountain pose. Fingernails to the floor. Toes face the ceiling, fingernails up towards the floor. Keep that left leg completely straight. Don't let it be disturbed. And then on an exhalation, bend the right leg in towards the chest. Clasp the fingers, widen the elbows, and take the pose, instead of cranking the knee down, take it somewhere that it's like the very first expression of that stretch. First expression of that stretch. Left thigh down. I'm letting the pose unfold as opposed to forcing it, cranking the knee towards my chest. With attention on the breath, the pose will naturally unfold. Change legs. Right leg heavy. Make the right leg heavy by pressing down the thigh and digging the heel in. Widen the elbows as you clasp the fingers around the left front of the shin. Exhale, release. Release the clasp. Place the back of the fingernails towards the floor. Can you find that stretch on the long sides of the waist? Can you work mountain pose lying down on the floor? Gently roll over and come up. So if you have a blanket handy, place it in the middle of your mat. And I'm going to turn to the side so you can see I'm kneeling and the shins are facing right directly from my knees. So give this some extra attention, so don't take the calf out to the side. Straight back. Great, I'm so glad everyone can see that. Kneel in the middle of the blanket. Press the tops of the feet into the blanket and take your sacrum tailbone in. Find mountain pose in this kneeling position. Your knees are your feet. Lift up the torso. Lift the torso off the hip bones even, so you find an even greater sense of length. Our next pose is Parigasana. Parigasana, gate pose. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Take this next direction in, sacrum tailbone deep into the body. Lift the torso off the hip bones and extend the arms to the sides. On an exhalation, take the right leg to a bent leg position and take it out to the side. The right heel and the left bent knee are in the same line. So Parigasana, gate pose, teaches us external rotation. of what's going to happen in the standing poses. So this top thigh rotates from the bottom up towards the hip. And this keeps both the inner groins healthy, and it keeps a healthy interaction of the bone with the hip joint and brings a spread across the pelvic region. So see if you can find that external rotation. The inner thigh rolls up and around, and that back outer thigh, and I'm kind of touching my back outer thigh, the back outer thigh moves in. Inhale the left arm. It's the same arm we had before. Straighten the elbow. Place the right hand in front of the right knee. Just come over a little bit. Find that first place of resistance. It's so easy just to go, ooh, and mindlessly come over. But let's see if we can extract a bit more juice out of the pose by treating it as a journey, by treating it as a pilgrimage, as opposed to a final destination. Top of the foot down, fingernails up, over just a little bit, insofar as the top arm is straight. Watch the breath. Is it possible to come down a little bit more? Arm straight. Bring the top arm close to the ear. Inhale, lift up. And come back to the kneeling position. Slow, soft, deep, rhythmic inhalation. On an exhalation, bend your left knee, left heel in line with the right knee. External rotation. Again, it's my left inner thigh rolling up towards the left outer hip, and the left outer hip has to come in. So if I were drawing a circle or an arrow, it would be an arrow straight up and around. And again, I'm tapping my left outer hip. My left outer hip cuts in as I get this external rotation. Can you find it? It really brings a sense of stability, that feeling to the hip joint. Press the top of the right foot down. Take the sacrum tailbone deep into the body. That's it. Yes. Sacrum tailbone deep into the body. Lift the right arm up. How does it feel to straighten the elbow? How does it feel to get that sense of length through the waist? Press the left back of the palm into the left knee and come down just a skosh. Feel that first place of resistance. That's it. That's it. Come over a little farther. Top arm close to the ear. Inhale. Back to a kneeling position. Parigasana again. This time we'll take the legs straight to the side. If that's not an option for you today, then take it with the bent leg position, just like we did before. Kneeling position. Slow, deep, rhythmic inhalation. Yes. Exhale, take the right leg out to the side. The heel is in line with the knee. It's easy to get that sway back in this pose. So sacrum tailbone in, external rotation. You can feel it, how this is really the foundation of triangle pose, yes? Inhale the left arm up. Let the shoulders even rise a little bit, the shoulder blades as you stretch up. Right back of the palm to in front of the right knee. With your exhalation, come on over. You can see I'm really trying to straighten that top arm and keep it close to my head. Inhale, come up. Yes. Kneeling position. Parigasana to the left. Mountain pose, sacrum tailbone in. Yeah. Exhale. Take the left foot to the side. You can see I've got the heel in alignment. And the shin is extending in a straight line right back from the knee. Left side. Come on over. Inhale, come up. Back to a kneeling position. And then come up to mountain pose in the middle of your mat. Join the feet, or in the alternative, keep the feet hip width apart. Legs straight, arms straight. The shoulders are right over the hips, right over the heels. Bring your hands in front of you and step or jump wide, about 3 feet. Point the toes in front. So take a quick look down and see if your toes are pointing to the front. Lift those quadriceps, take that sacrum tailbone in, and then we're going to do Virabhadrasana 2 to the left. Front heel bisects back arch. So we're not all practicing in the same room together, but a common thing is one arm is here and one arm is there. Extend the arms in line with the shoulders. And on an exhalation, bend the right knee towards a 90-degree position. And then turn the head. Turn the head and look out over the right fingertips. Inhale, come up. Toes forwards. Pose and repose. Where is the pilgrimage? Where is the inquiry? Where does it become your practice? Left foot out. External rotation just of the top thigh, just like we had in Parigasana. Virabhadrasana 2 to the left. Inhale, straighten the leg. Place your hands on your hips. Either step or jump. Back to mountain pose. Dig the heels into the floor, just like we did when we were laying down in Uttanasana. Parigasana, extended lateral angle. And we'll do it to the right first. Remember, I'm mirroring you. Mountain pose. Step or jump wide. Yes. Make the preparation as clean as you can. So to come into extended lateral side angle, we come into Virabhadrasana 2 first. I don't have a block right in front of me, but I'm going to just take my hand down and touch down for a minute to see where my flexibility is this early in the morning. Or you can take the right forearm on top of the left thigh. It's up to you. Taking the right hand behind the right knee, extending the left arm in line with the left shoulder. Now place the left fingertips behind the left ear and straighten the left arm. And bring it as close to the ear as you can, just like we were in Parigasana. Press the left outer foot down, that's your leverage, and swing on up to come out of the pose. Toes forwards, legs straight, arms extending out from the center of the chest. Lift up those bottom triceps, lift them up towards the bone, yes. Parsvakonasana to the left. Virabhadrasana 2. So you can come with the left forearm on the left thigh, or you can extend the torso over, left fingertips behind the left ankle. I'm placing the right hand on the hip right before I extend the right arm in line with the shoulder. Yeah? How does that feel? Place the right fingertips behind the right ear, and then stretch the right arm straight, elbow straight and close to the ear. And then let the right arm help you swing on up. Toes forwards, and come to mountain pose. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see the next position. I'm swinging my arms, I'm flapping really, and then I'm going to take the arms behind me and clasp my hands either on the wrist. I'll turn my back to you can see. You can take hold of the wrist, you can take hold of the forearm, or you can take hold of the elbows. Your choice. Keep it in mountain pose. Take the tops of the shoulders back and see if you can experience this pose with no strain at all in the shoulders. So take the clasp that maybe it might feel a little bit easier for this moment, but let it be comfortable. Direct your awareness to the legs. Plant the heels firmly into the floor and let the quadriceps lift up. All of the prior actions of mountain pose apply. You can see I'm rolling the fronts of my shoulders back and away from my ears, and bringing my sacrum tailbone in. Exhale, release. I'm going to stand to the side again so you can see. Flapping my arms. And this time I'm going to take the non-dominant clasp. So you might feel like on this side, maybe you do. Maybe it's more comfortable to take the wrist. Or maybe you go all the way to the elbow. But the key thing is always keeping this open aspect of the chest, yeah? Perfect. I'm so glad we're practicing yoga together. So take the non-dominant clasp, reestablish mountain pose. Let the body form one vertical line. Exhale, release the arms. Yeah. So if you have a chair handy, that would be great. If you don't, no worries at all. You'll take the next pose. You can do it seated on the floor in an easy cross-legged position, just like we twisted at the very beginning of class. You can repeat that action. Sit on your chair. I can tell I'm a bit short, so I'm going to take a blanket so I can actually make contact with my feet to the floor. Knees in line with the ankles. Mountain pose in the torso. we're going to do a simple seated chair twist. And I'm going to mirror you, so I'm going to twist to the left first. Tadasana, mountain pose with the torso. On an exhalation, take the hands and bring them to the top of the chair. Let the shoulder blades release away from the ears. So if you're doing this in the morning, you might find the body is quicker to twist. Follow what your body needs for right now. Let the twist slowly unfurl. Shoulders in line with the buttocks. The twist happens from the middle back. I'm turning to the right. My right shoulder moves closer to the spine, and my left shoulder moves away from the spine as I look out behind me over to the right. Shoulders away, away, away from the ears. Exhale, release. I'm going to turn the chair this way to the other side. This time we're going to turn to the left. Hands on top of the chair. The left shoulder moves in towards the spine, and the right moves away from the spine as you turn towards the left. Left shoulder into the spine, right shoulder moves away from the spine, turning to the left. Look out over your shoulder. Exhale, release. And today we're going to take a standing Shavasana. So I call this Shavasana Uttanasana. Shavasana is our final resting pose, and Uttanasana is a standing forward bend. So here's the chair. Take anything that you happen to have so you can get a little height on your chair if you need it. I'm going to use both the blankets. And I'm turning to the side so that you can see what I'm doing. So I've created some height on the chair. Feet are hip width distance. And you also have the option of taking the feet to the width of the mat. I'm going to do feet hip distance. And then the forehead is going to actually rest on the chair. So if you need more blankets, build yourself up some height. If you need less, take less. Straight legs, bend forwards, bring the hands in front of you, and place the forehead onto the blankets. You can bend your knees just a little bit in this standing Shavasana. Then experiment with straightening them again. And let go of any intention to regulate the breath, but simply to be completely present in the standing forward bend. You can stay here up to 5 minutes. To come out of the pose, place your hands on your hips, straighten your legs, and then we'll come up leading from the tops of the shoulders. Mountain pose, hands prayer position. Thank you so much for this beautiful and simple practice together. I look forward to meeting you all in person. If you have any questions, please direct them to UC Davis, Living Fit Forever. And again, my name is Linda Nueva. Bye for now.